Now, what's so funny about computer printers? Well, nothing really. But using humor to sell printers is something else. Hewlett-Packard hired comedian Rob Riggle and created a streaming comedy show on YouTube in order to promote its new EPRINT services. My next guest is Hewlett-Packard's Hassan. He's the Vice President of Worldwide and Regional Marketing and Communications. Tarek, good to have you with us on Taking Stock. What's this idea of comedy videos on YouTube, and that's going to help sell Hewlett-Packard products? Tell us about it.
Well, we were looking for a pretty original way to allow our customers to engage in this new technology, ePrint, which really allows you to engage in content, share content, and print content from any mobile device, your smartphone, your laptop, which is a relatively new way to engage in printing.
A wireless connection.
A wireless connection and cloud-enabled, web-enabled. Yeah.
So how did this idea come about?
Well, it was actually an HP thought about ePrint really being the technology you could actually try firsthand. It's one thing to talk about being able to print wirelessly, but how do you make it relevant? And so what better way to do that than ask our customers to engage in e-printing content directly in and create this live stream show?
So how did the meeting go that decided that you were going to have a comedian and actually put together like a comedy sketch about email and e-printing?
Well, I think you start with who you're talking to. In this digital era of obviously trying to talk to a younger, more mobile crowd, how do you relate to them? And as you said, most people don't think as printers is too funny, so how do you get them engaged in a relevant way? Well, we thought it would be a great way to allow our actual customer market to go ahead, send us ideas in, let Rob pull them off. He's a much better judge of comedy than I am. And go ahead and serve up those ideas for the comedians to improv in this live stream show.
So how's it been going? What kind of responses are you getting, and is it funny?
Yeah, it's been a great start. We went live last Friday. It was a 2-hour broadcast, which was really just the first part of a multi-channel approach. The show's continued for the last 4 days, where our customers have been able to e-print content in, and the actors are continuing to develop these comedian skits and put them back up in post. You know, it's still early. We're looking at total measurement for overall engagement, but early numbers around things like engagement, averaging just about 20 minutes of engagement on YouTube. It's about 3x what they normally average for live stream.
People are actually spending 20 minutes watching a comedy/ad that sort of includes what? Information, technical information, or is it just all about how this is supposed to be funny and cool?
No, the 20-minute engagement was on the actual live broadcast itself, and that was them engaging in the content, but the content again being created by them and the ideas that they sent in directly to these printers. So they're experiencing the ePrint technology firsthand.
And I'm gathering this is where the word crowdsourcing comes into play. How did you come up with that?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, social media, we've heard a lot about it today, obviously, with demand media and the news around it, that this is a real play in market. This is no longer, you know, sticking your toe in the water. And we were really looking for a way to socialize our ePrint technology in a way that would get people talking about it and really engaging in it. And so what better way to do that than invite them to participate in the process?
Now, just speaking with David Acker, he's the author of the book Brand Relevance, and one of the points that he makes is that companies that want to be creative, they have to kind of give up control. That's very difficult for them to do when creating new products or new markets. Was that a challenge at Hewlett-Packard?
I think if you're realistic about it, I don't think you actually have control anymore. I think what you have is the ability to understand that the conversation that takes place with that customer is something you can manage and you can plan for it. And once you recognize that, you're better off coming up with ideas to actually engage in that dialogue in an authentic way and create a meaningful experience. That absolutely was part of the conversation.
What does something like this cost? I mean, is this similar to, let's say, going out and having a traditional advertising campaign?
No, so I think if you think about this, this is really an extension of a broader campaign that had a highly successful television campaign, PR influencer, and then digital campaign that had a lot of prongs to it. The social media was one component of it. Where we got excited about it is the kind of exposure level that we're going to see in this programming equates roughly to about the insertion of 2 TV spots. And so when you think about a 20-minute engagement and an experience with a very hands-on technology, and a great experience for them along the way.
Well, I was thinking also an engagement with the right demographic group, too, because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, those that are watching YouTube.
Absolutely. And now for YouTube, this was a first-of-a-kind live stream approach for them as they move into this live stream infancy. We get excited about it because it truly does open up what I would call another network opportunity.
All right. I want to thank you very much, Hassan, coming to us as the Vice President of Branding and Marketing worldwide for Hewlett-Packard on a whole new initiative that you're doing. Thank you very much for sharing this with us.